Hello, Mrs. A here. So my name is Tara Affolter, and I am the LA teacher at HomeLink. I wanted to share with you what's going on in 9th and 10th grade LA on campus. Okay, first of all, I use the district curriculum called My Perspectives. At this point, I'm using the 9th grade one year and the 10th grade the next. And then I'm still pushing everybody to the 10th grade standards. But I'm considering staying with the 10th grade text and then just teaching a couple of units each year so that we could maybe save some money so I could still get my no red ink. So I use no red ink for grammar, and it's an online program, and I can actually assign different things that I see what's happening in their writing. So if I see that they're struggling with commas and introductory phrases, I can set that as a lesson. So we've been doing a lesson a week since the end of January. And it's been great for me because I can do lessons and then do a quiz, and then lessons and then do a quiz. So it kind of makes them accountable for certain concepts, but I just have to manage that. Having them for just 2 days, it's not enough time. Next year, I get 3 days. Yes, I'm so excited. One of those days will be writing every single time, and we'll do in-class writing, and I want to do it more of a workshop model. So in writing this year, we've done explanatory writing, especially during reading time. We've done argumentative writing, informational writing, going to be working on narrative writing next. With that being said, let me just talk to you a little bit about My Perspectives. So I'm choosing My Perspectives because it has that online component. So if they're at home and they forget their book or whatever, they have that. In addition, I really like the setup. So I'm not necessarily using all of the assignments that come with the curriculum. I'm oftentimes creating my own, going off of what the standards are. But I like that there is this group of stories that have to do with the same idea. For example, my 9th and 10th graders right now are just finishing up the literature of civil rights. And there is always an essential question that goes along with the unit. This is, how can words inspire change? We did some close reading of different texts. We did the letters from Birmingham in the Birmingham jail that Martin Luther King had written. We also read his famous I Have a Dream speech. And I'm teaching them to annotate, right? So they're highlighting. I'm expecting them to write in the margins, connections, questions. I really want them to dive deep in their thinking and not just stay on the surface level. In addition, we read To Kill a Mockingbird at kind of towards the end of our reading of the short stories. I kind of pull in a novel. We're almost at the end of that, and then we'll do an end of the unit project on that book. We've had some great conversations about that story, and our discussion has been pretty deep. In addition, they just are finishing up their presentations. So they worked by themselves or with a partner and chose a topic during the civil rights movement, and then they went really in depth on their informational writing and then presented to the class so that we had multiple understandings of different topics during that time period. So it's really been great. So I'm definitely more of a project-based teacher. We do things that are in the text, but then I also have outside readings for them to do. And earlier this year, they could choose between realistic fiction and mystery. Then they chose between fantasy and science fiction and did a project. And then they read either a biography or an autobiography and did a paper pencil project that looked like this. This is an example of one of them. So they chose whatever person that they wanted to choose, whatever biography or autobiography they could get their hands on. They pulled out 3 important events in that person's life and then had to explain how it impacted them. So you can see that the black lettering or font is the event, and then the other color is this person's way of showing that it's different. It's how it impacted them. In addition, they had to draw little icons that went with each paragraph, and then they had a paragraph of who they are and why were they famous. So as opposed to just giving the life in chronological order, I asked them to pull out events. So this to me was deeper because we were kind of talking about how different events affect people. So these were all around the room, and I loved looking at them. We also did a little mini lesson on how to draw a person. And then they kind of went to town and took a lot of pride and ownership in their project. They also had to present them. So we read novels, we read short stories, we highlight and annotate. They answer comprehension questions, but I'm definitely more of a, I'll choose 2 or 3 that I think are really great instead of choosing 10 lower level questions. I want questions where they have to really think and look, like really go back to the text and then explain themselves. So those are some of the skills that we work on in language arts. I definitely love reading and writing and the connections, and I never knew that I would like teaching 9th and 10th so much, but the discussions that we have and the deep conversations have been amazing. I will tell you this, some of the work, I mean, we're getting into 9th and 10th grade. So everything is not, all books are not as tame, I guess, as a 6th grade. There's a lot more, there's a little more sometimes controversy in the books, but I definitely don't choose any for that reason. So like To Kill a Mockingbird, there's definitely racial injustice in that story. And we've had lots of conversations about that. So I just want you to understand and just know that I'm always willing to talk. If we needed to have a different book or something like that, like I'm willing to work with you. But I definitely see the benefit of us being a community and talking about some of these issues. So if you have any questions, please let me know. My email is tara.affolter, AFFHOLTER, @rsd.edu. And I look forward to having your 9th or 10th grader here. I just love being here at HomeLink, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a great day.